going to start getting ready here. Jim, roll camera. What's that? Telling Jim to roll camera. What we did.
May I have your attention, please? If you would please take your seats, we'll get the convention started. The 2011 Annual Convention of the Libertarian Party Oregon is called to order. The first order of business is the report from the Credentials Committee. Would Mr. Scriba please come forward to give that report?
Okay, first I want to say I'm encouraged by the turnout. And more importantly by the energy in the room. That was very, very nice to see. So today we have 137 members, 31 of which are in attendance. Quorum is 68. I do want to have a couple other comments before I relinquish the microphone. We sent out a mailer. According to my records, we have 11 bad addresses with lifetime members. 57 did receive notice. Out of our 137 members, 14 were not notified, and a few of them I believe are here today, so I apologize. I take responsibility for that in the interest of full transparency. Anything else anybody want to know? All right. Thank you. Oh, in the back.
Move to adjourn. Signing back.
What was that? What was the question?
It was for me.
Oh.
Thank you for the report, Mr. Secretary. The chair recognizes Mr. Weidner.
I move that we adjourn this convention to May 28th at 11 a.m. Second.
It is moved to second to set the time to which to adjourn to May 28th at 11 a.m.
We had a motion to move to adjourn, Sunny Dye already.
He was not recognized.
Okay.
Point of order, is that Memorial Day weekend?
It is one of the most beautiful waterways in America. Now, technology from sea.
I'm not sure offhand. Does anyone know that offhand?
The 30th is always Memorial Day, except it's not recognized that way anymore.
Yeah, it is Memorial Day weekend.
Shouldn't we?
I move to adjourn, Sunny Dye. Recognized?
I'm sorry, such a motion is not in order at this time. The motion to set the time to which to adjourn takes precedence.
Point of order.
Mr. Cronin.
Yeah, there isn't a motion on the floor to set the time at which to adjourn.
He seconded it.
I believe the chair believes that Wes's motion was valid and seconded. Was there an issue with the motion?
Yes, the motion was to adjourn. The motion wasn't to set the time to which to adjourn.
Wes's motion was to set the time to which to adjourn. That is the motion that I heard. And what was your motion, Wes?
My motion was to adjourn to May 28th at 11 a.m.
Which I corrected to set the time to which to adjourn at May 20, or to May 20th at 11 a.m., which is the correct form of the motion you were trying to make.
Thank you.
Is that fulfill your?
Yes, and Mr. Wilson seconded it after it was made. I accepted his version. Was it Bruce? Yeah.
So that is the motion that is before the assembly at this time. And yes, that weekend is Memorial Day weekend. Em, I think you had your hand up earlier. Do you wish to be recognized still? Okay. Chair recognizes Mr. Grover.
I move to amend the motion to be May 19th, which is the weekend before Memorial Day weekend.
That's a Thursday. You mean 21st?
I'm sorry.
You mean 21st?
Is it 21st is Saturday?
Yeah,
21st.
I'm not smart enough to look at it. May 21st.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
A point of parliamentary inquiry. How the hell are we been having a discussion? We don't have a meeting, and our discussion's on a non-debatable motion, as I understand.
The motion is not debatable, but is amendable. So we are not having debate, but allowing amendment.
I'm not sure I see a distinction.
It's true.
The distinction is that we can't debate the merits of the motion, but we can have some flexibility to determine when we want to set the adjourned meeting. Sorry, could you please restate what you were saying? I lost track of what was suggested. The motion, yeah, the motion to amend.
I move to amend the motion to adjourn to May 21st instead of May 28th.
Okay. So it was moved and seconded to amend the main motion to set it to May
21.
May 21.
Can be recognized?
Yes.
Okay, well, for as long as we're amending, I move to amend that we adjourn sine die. Wait a second.
I'm sorry, such an amendment is not in order at this time, since that changes the type of
We're
motion.
amending the term, so.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman. You do not have a quorum, you cannot conduct business, including making a new date for another convention.
The only business we can conduct without quorum is to adjourn, recess, or take actions to try to achieve quorum. So these motions to adjourn are in order.
It's fun to watch a funny show when you're at home or on the...
If we adjourn without establishing a adjourned meeting, then the convention would adjourn sine die, and would essentially be over at that point. So the question, the chair recognizes Mr. Long.
A question, point of parliamentary, I guess, inquiry. Because I just don't understand, I'm not arguing, I just don't, if we adjourn to May, whatever the date is, does the present party, state committee and officers stay in place?
The chair is uncertain. The bylaws state that elections occur as part of the convention, and since setting an adjourned meeting for the convention would prolong the convention until May 21st or 22nd, I believe the term of office would remain until the end of the convention in May.
Well, I guess my question then is, if quorum, as it obviously is, it's the second time we've tried to reach quorum and we've fallen far short, what is to prevent, I can't believe anybody wants to stay in office forever, but what is to prevent continuing and ongoing moves to adjourn to another definite time, 2 months down the road?
I'd have to confer with the parliamentarian, but I don't believe we can simply extend the meeting indefinitely, or extend the convention indefinitely. I'm not sure about the rules on setting adjourned meetings though, so I'd have to double check with that. We can or cannot extend it. Can.
If you do it once, why can't you do it twice or 3 or 4 times?
Well, I know that Robert's Rules of Order has something about things that extend over the period of a quarterly interval, so I was wondering if that might be a limit, but apparently it is not. So if we do meet in May and do decide to extend the convention again, that would be another option.
Well, I'm not proposing that. My question, I guess, really is what is to prevent someone who perhaps likes the current condition, I can't imagine anybody does, but what is to prevent someone from just doing that indefinitely for the next 29 years?
It requires a majority of members to vote to do so.
But you understand my question.
Bruce?
I think I can answer your question. The way to prevent that is to muster a quorum at the next time we try to do this.
Or to vote down the, or to vote, would this be correct to vote down the current motion?
Yes.
Yes, if you do not wish to continue this convention to May, you don't vote down the current question because the question is an amendment, but you, to the main motion, but you would vote down the main motion. If that is voted down, and then we would, and there is no further motion to try to prolong the meeting, then we would end the convention today.
Thank you.
So the question is on the amendment to the main motion. The main motion is to set an adjourned meeting on May 22nd at 11 a.m. The amendment that you have to decide on right now is to amend the main motion to May 21st. All those in favor of the amendment to the main motion, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no.
No.
The ayes have it, and the motion is adopted. The question before the Assembly is now the motion to set an adjourned meeting on May 21st at 11 a.m. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no.
No.
Division.
The chair is uncertain as to the result. Would all those in favor please stand and remain standing until you can be counted? Please be seated. Oh, sorry, okay, thank you. Please be seated. All those opposed, please stand and remain standing until you can be counted. Please remain standing for another count. Thank you. Please be seated. The chair counts 15 in the affirmative and 15 in the negative.
Chair decides.
That's up to you.
The chair votes in the affirmative, and the motion is adopted.
Mr. Chair, move for a counted standing vote.
How does that work?
Count off.
Okay. It has been moved and seconded, and we need to vote on that. Can we do that without objection?
Second.
Does anyone object to doing a counted standing vote? All right, seeing no objection. Could you help me run this? I'm not sure with the procedure for this.
Those in favor of the motion to adjourn to the 21st of May, please rise. You can count off as you sit down. Let's see.
1, 2,
3,
4,
5,
6,
7.
7,
8,
9,
10,
11,
12,
13.
14, 15.
Okay, those opposed, please rise.
One,
2, 3,
4,
5,
6. 7.
8,
9,
11,
12,
13.
14. So, yeah, 15 to 14 seems to be.
Okay, with the new count, the vote is 15 in the affirmative and 14 in the negative. The ayes have it, and the motion is adopted. Is there any further new business? Chair recognizes Mr. Wagner.
I move to set the place for adjournment to be this location unless it is not available, otherwise someplace in the Portland area with notice to be sent if the location is changed.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to set the location of the adjourned meeting at this location unless this location is not available, at which point a location will be set in the Portland area with notice given. Is there any, is this available? Okay. All right, ready for the question? All those in favor of the motion just stated, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no.
No.
The ayes have it, and the motion is adopted. Mr. Carter.
Motion to adjourn. Second.
It has been moved to adjourn. All those in favor of adjourning,
Wait a
please.
second, wait a second, this is, I don't know, this is, to me, seems absolutely insane. I mean,
For what reason do you address the chair?
Point of ridiculousness.
That's never stopped anyone in this
We
party.
want to do something, to change the political system. We're here, and because of fighting and bickering, and because of some nonsense requirement that people show up and say you don't need quorum, and we're
Mr. Tragosian,
this is going to go on forever.
Yes.
And the party's eventually not going to do anything. We're not doing the important business that we should be doing.
Thank you.
thank you, Mr. Tragosian.
Thank you.
All those in favor of adjourning, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no.
No.
The ayes have it. The motion is adopted. The meeting is adjourned.
Excuse me, I would like to make a statement. I'm not a member of the Libertarian Party of Oregon.
Give them the front of the room.
Come in front of the room. Everybody sit down.
I mean, we got the room for the whole
Jeff.
day, so anyone who wants to talk about anything, I'm more than happy to listen.
Hi, my name is David Perkins. I've been here in Oregon for quite a while now. I have been a member of the Party of Oregon in the past, and I've let my membership lapse. For the past year, I have been trying to get a hold of somebody to renew my membership. I have a check on me that I can pay my membership right now, but I can't seem to find anywhere, any way, shape, or form to join this party. I find it's completely ridiculous, and I want to know what y'all plan on doing about it.
Back at the table earlier, you brought this up, and I pointed out two officers to you, two of the four party officers, this guy and this guy, talked to them. And I don't know what they told you.
Nobody has talked to me. Like I said, I've left voice call people, I've sent emails, I've left messages on your website. I have not gotten any response from y'all. Y'all say you want to fix this party here, but you're not willing to do anything about it.
Okay, well, here's
And
the
like I said,
vice,
I'm really
here's the
upset
vice
about
chair,
it.
here's the vice chair, here's the chair, here's the secretary, and here's the treasurer.
How do I get a membership form?
Ask these guys.
No, not anymore.
Yeah, just give us the check. Yeah, I don't have any of it.
I mean, I'm here, I want a membership form, I want to help.
So this
Please
gentleman is the
let me
secretary.
help.
This gentleman is the secretary, if you give him the information, and this is the treasurer, if you give him the check, he can get you signed up.
Just give it to the secretary.
I'm gonna let y'all get back on with what you're doing. I'm gonna be in the back. Like I said, please, let me help.
This gentleman is absolutely right. There actually is no way. It's not
I don't know how much to make the check out for. I have no information on how to join, how much to pay.
Because the information is not on the internet, it's not going to be on the internet, because it's not, party's not going to go anywhere, because there's a power situation. Over the last week, I've met with I don't understand how there are more factions here than there are people here. I met with both sides.
It wasn't easy, we've been working on it.
I met with, I've talked to both sides in the last week, and I'm listening to them, and people don't even know what the issues are anymore. They're just fighting. It's about egos. It's about power, and the situation is not going to change. And I don't understand how we got in this situation, because two people show up and say we don't need quorum. It's none of their business. We have work to do. This is not the business that we should be involved in. We need to be recruiting candidates, running for office, doing fundraising, expanding our message. This is the business that we should be conducting. This is nonsense, people.
We didn't have this quorum problem until one of the factions decided to make a democracy out of the party.
It is what it is.
One of the bylaws amendment. What we have now is mob rule, not a party.
That was the result of a careless bylaw amendment that subjected us to this set of rules.
What careless bylaw amendment?
Very careless.
Very
Which one?
2009.
We need to decide, okay, we need to decide what are our priorities. Is our priority making sure that our bylaws and our Constitution and Robert's rules are perfect? Or is our priorities or are priorities expanding the message of freedom and liberty in the country? We have to fundamentally understand what we're doing, because if this party dies, people can look and say, oh, the party's dead, but they had really good bylaws, and their minutes were perfect, but the party doesn't exist. It doesn't matter the party exists, because the Constitution and the bylaws were perfect all the time. And that's, there you go. Well, congratulations, everybody. You followed the bylaws and Robert's rules 100%. Congratulations.
Do we get a badge for that?
Yeah, I'll give you one.
I like a medal for following Robert's rules.
You know what, you guys? Stop laughing at me. We're all here.
Chris, you don't get the gavel.
We're all here arguing about rules. What are we going to do about it? We can argue or we can do something. Those are our choices. We can either look at each other and go blah, 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 or we can actually figure out how the hell we're going to solve the problem. Those are the options we have. So which one are we going to take?
Chris, why don't you tell us about 2009 and what happened?
You know, Mark?
I
All I
wasn't
know
there.
is, Mark, excuse me.
No, excuse me.
We have a problem, let's figure out how to solve it. What happened in 2009? We adopted bylaws. Yeah, we did. Were all of them right? No, they weren't. Did we make mistakes? Yes, we did. Now let's fix it. We can either blame everybody or we can fix it. Those are our choices.
Let's change form.
I've served as the parliamentarian of the National Libertarian Party. I've served as parliamentarian at state party conventions in more than half of our 50 states. I've read the bylaws of about 47 or 48 of our state parties. And it's my opinion that the LPO has the worst written bylaws of any libertarian party. They have organized us over the last at least a decade into a circular firing squad. Are the bylaws our only problem? No, they're not. We have personality problems as well. We have people who want to be a big fish in a small pond. But many other organizations have that. Bylaws are not the only thing, that's a problem. They can't fix all our problems, but our bylaws are organized to the greatest extent possible to make us a circular firing squad. And we should fix that. We should have bylaws that minimize the incentives for infighting, that minimize the opportunities for infighting, and help us to focus externally on being a political party that actually makes a difference for freedom in the world.
I seem to remember a convention that we tried to do that with.
I'm willing to work with anyone who wants to do that.
But first we have to address the quorum requirement. And I've heard people say 4 or 5 different versions of where the quorum requirement problem comes from. I don't want to be on camera. People say it was in the 2009 convention. People say it was in the 2007 convention. And I'm just trying to understand what is the source of the quorum problem?
I was not present at and do not remember exactly the date of the special convention at which the party moved from a convention of delegates to an assembly of members. So in doing that, the quorum issue was either overlooked or deliberately screwed up. I have no information and no way to judge whether it was a mistake or...
My question is mechanical. What paragraph are we relying on in the bylaws?
I don't have a copy of the bylaws in front of me. It's the paragraph which says who can vote at a state business convention. That's where the problem is.
Incorrect.
Are you referring to paragraph in Article 10, paragraph 3A, that says all delegates must be an LPO member in current standing 30 days before convention? That apparently or purportedly was adopted on December 29th, 2007. 9 and 10 in my copy.
I just want to say something positive. Last time we had a meeting, everyone just kind of left at this point, and now everyone's mostly staying, and I think that's kind of a good thing, so.
Hey, it's open mic, come on up.
Yeah.
Article 11, Section 3A.
Okay, that's the paragraph.
I read that.
Wait.
Say, I read that, look, no.
Before you do interpretation, that's the paragraph you're focusing on.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, sorry.
And that sorry, that paragraph reads to me, well, I'll just read it. All delegates must be an LPO member in current standing 30 days before any business or special convention. Each delegate present and properly credentialed is entitled to one vote at that convention.
Okay.
I don't see any way to interpret that as meaning anything other than every member who meets these requirements is entitled to be a delegate and to vote at convention. Prior to the adoption of this, we had a system by which some members delegated to other members their authority to participate in conventions. We had a system of delegation, right, which was adopted in 2001 and lasted from 2001 until the end of 2007. Prior to 2001, there was a quorum.
It doesn't matter. Robert's Rules talks about the enrolled membership. Okay, and it says only members who maintain their status as members in the prescribed manner. Now, the prescribed manner of maintaining your status as a member is provided in the same bylaws in the membership provision in section 3, Article 3, section 2, that says you pay dues to maintain your membership. I would interpret that as saying that the people who are counted for the purposes of the quorum under Robert's Rules are the people who pay dues, at least as long as the organization has dues, which it has had for the past at least 6-7 months. And we don't count lifetime members, even though they're entitled, they may be entitled to vote at the convention, they're not counted for the purpose of a quorum. So then our quorum requirement is 35 or something close to that instead of 75.
I would disagree. The quorum requirement is based on the members eligible to participate.
That's not what Robert's Rules says.
Sure. Go ahead and read me the passage that.
The passage from Robert's Rules says the number of members. Let's see. In the absence of such a provision in the society or assembly whose real membership can accurately be determined, question, that is a body having an enrolled membership composed only of persons who maintain their status as members in the prescribed manner. The quorum is a majority of the entire membership.
Right. And certainly the life members maintain their membership in the manner prescribed for life members.
No, there is nothing in the bylaws about life membership. You can't.
The Judicial Committee ruled on that. I don't personally think that the Judicial Committee ruled correctly in a legalistically correct way. I think they ruled correctly in a moral way, right? And I'm very sympathetic to the decision they made. But as long as the Judicial Committee has ruled that the life members are in fact members and have in fact satisfied the requirements for membership, then they're counted for quorum.
No, but the question isn't what the Judicial Committee said about the status of life members. The question is, the people who authored the bylaws, what was their intention? Their intention Yes.
Intention is not relevant.
Intention is completely relevant.
You
Intention is
have
all
to-
that's relevant.
You have
That's
to,
all that's relevant is an intention.
you have to interpret. So like, you have,
All we have is we have what was written. We have the actual text, we have to go by the text. I mean, it's like saying, with the
This is
Constitution of the
law.
With the Constitution of the United
The law
States,
in
do
a
you want to
sentence says
say,
what it
do
means.
you want to say, the Second Amendment says the right to bear arms shall not be infringed. Oh, but that wasn't really their intention.
wait,
Right?
stop.
You don't get to-
Go back. You have to interpret the document as a whole. Okay, the people who wrote that paragraph that you're interpreting, it doesn't say what the quorum is. You're interpreting the paragraph, wrote it in the context of the membership paragraph, which prescribes the terms for membership. And that is that you pay dues. Okay, so it's only dues-paying members that are counted for the purpose of Roberts.
And lifetime members have paid their dues. That's how they became lifetime members.
There's no
They paid lifetime dues.
There's no lifetime membership recognized. What you're saying
It was
is,
recognized by the Judicial Committee. They're the final body of authority on these questions. Unless a convention overrules them, but that would require a quorum.
And three-quarter vote.
Yeah.
I'm not disenfranchising them. I'm interpreting.
They need to be present to vote.
No, they need to be present to vote. I've been one of them.
If they have to be here to vote, then they're part of the quorum.
No, stop.
If they're present, if they don't count towards quorum, they're not present.
Quorum is how much the arbiter, how many have to be here, has nothing to do with how many people are. Quorum is a requirement, how many people must be here, got nothing to do with it.
I fought as a lifetime member for 3.5 years. I'm not saying this is a lifetime member. I'm saying that this document.
And my pocket monster can be the next one.
So, yes.
But they're
Maybe somehow, actually, I don't think this was on the
No,
day.
stop. Somebody's taking
That was
this
why I waited
document,
for these
and
answers
this
to
book,
November.
putting it together and creating this one. Okay, and I'm
We tried to
saying,
make
take
this
this document, this book, and put it together, and they don't say what these folks are saying. They say, what the thing says is an annual convention of the members, what's required, and it doesn't say what the quorum requirement is, or how to figure it out. All right, this book says, we pretty much have to take it, that the quorum requirement is the majority of the vote and recognized as valid. And that's what this document answers. It says, the requirements for membership are that you pay dues. We can have a requirement for the purpose of quorum and still recognize. Let that life membership have a no, let me finish my sentence, okay? And we can recognize people who pay dues for the purposes of the quorum and still give life members all the rights that they're allowed to with contract. Okay? It doesn't change it, it's just, all I'm talking about is a question of interpretation. Go on with the business of the organization. And this interpretation,
what you want to do, and you're interpreting the rules in order to conform to everybody.
no, I'm interpreting what there is.
If they are members, if they're members of good standing, then they're enrolled members, and if they paid their dues 10 years ago or 20 years ago, they're still paid.
I
So
agree.
they are dues-paying members, they don't have to pay the check.
But that's not what Robert's rule says. It doesn't say all members. It says members that are that maintain their status in the prescribed manner. The prescribed manner is paying dues. That's right.
They pay their dues in advance, so you're forward.
So there's no way out of the three.
We have 11 people who have no access.
So, I mean, that we just pretty much have
Yeah, I was on that.
It says in our constitution.
I used to be chair of that committee until I got removed.
It says in the Constitution that the judicial committee is defined, barring an overturn by 3/4 of the convention, the judicial committee is the final body of authority in all matters related to the interpretation.
Okay, so we can go to the judicial committee and ask them if their interpretation is giving life member status.
Well, that's what they say right now.
Yes, it does. It's not over.
It's supposed to be tried. They have to, I'm sure that one of the officers of Robert Rules Order was probably on this. That's the thing about politics. Nothing's ever over. Nothing's ever over. It's always a meeting.
Would you have a problem if the bylaw said?
I figure we'd probably go out, hang out in the coffee shop.
For most of those issues.
Whatever the rest we want to do our day.
Well, actually, you guys there's not a lack of
Actually, I guess you're right.
Well, sort of just
There's also.
we're not doing a mailing right now. We got one.
Yeah.
We can hold a meeting in the interim.
There is this article line that says everybody who pays dues this year is an enrolled member. Their dues 5 years ago. It can be whatever.
I know some people that show up and they're worded.
I'm more worried about that.
Which is what happens.
Another question. It's better to have a convention.
I actually, yes, that was the one we held with the original. That was the one that was considered, but the guys showed up, the national showed up and said, no, that was a special convention where we tried to fix this problem. National came in and showed us this time. And that was because we let them know, and it said that we were gonna do the right thing. So, prior to that, we had one last March, in which the judicial committee was picked. The judicial committee is now disbanded. Us officers are now discussing how do we get I don't think this is the right however, all we can do now is to make a decision as to make our the problem is that you have the majority people which is fine. Actually,
So
Make a motion. Figure it out.
You can't make a motion. Unless it's okay, unless it's not.
It's just what does it, you got like what's the natural conclusion? I can't stand this either.
You had a mic, 25 years in the military, but
just send us something.
Very good job.
So I guess as chair of the party, I wanted to take a few moments to thank everyone for showing up here. I do know how frustrated it is to spend the time and the energy to come out here and not be able to get work done. I do think the conversations we're having are productive, and I certainly want to encourage everyone to continue doing them. You know, as chair, I am probably the most disappointed of everyone here that we weren't able to accomplish anything this year. It's very disappointing because when I was elected chair, I was elected on a platform of trying to address some of these issues and ultimately failed. And so I apologize to everyone here. You know, that is my failing, and yeah, I just got to deal with that. But I do thank everyone for being here, and just have a couple of announcements. The first is that when I was elected chair, I was really only planning on a year term of duty, and I just don't have time to continue at this point. I recognize that since the convention is postponed to May, or not postponed, but will resume in May, my term is not technically up until that time, but I simply can't continue as chair at this time. I have too much other external commitments, and so effective today, I am resigning as chair of the Libertarian Party of Oregon. I'm sorry I can't continue in that regard, but I just need to focus on my personal life. Again, thank you very much for your attendance, and please continue the discussion. I will certainly continue to be involved with the party. I just can't be involved at the same level I have been, and will be happy to answer questions and help in any way I can.
You deserve
Please thank-
congratulations for how hard you
Please everyone thank Jeff for his service. He's really done a good job on this show.
Under the worst conditions possible.
Any questions I can answer at this time? Joe Tabor?
Yeah, Jeff, I also wanted to say thank you for your fairness. As a chair, I've seen you just meticulously go through everything, and you didn't make any decisions on pragmatism. It was all on process, and it was all on good moral grounds, and I do appreciate that strength you brought to us.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, if that if we rule that if the membership rules or the state committee rules that the officers stay on, then there would be a vacancy in the office of vice chair, and the state committee would simply elect a new vice chair at their next meeting.
So this transition is effective now?
Yeah, as of now, I am no longer chair. Wes is chair of the party until his successor is elected or
Would it be possible, since we're all here now, and I don't want to ask something unreasonable to Wes, but if it's possible for Wes to explain where he would like to take the party and what his plans are and what some of the projects are that he'd like to be involved in.
I know Wes has some ideas. I don't know if he's willing to talk about it today.
I'll at least discuss my general principles.
Could you go to the mic, Wes, so we
I
can
am.
hear you?
I shall, if you want. I don't know, probably there's some continuity here. People probably remember when I stepped in as chairperson a while back. I did make every attempt to be meticulous about process, procedure, and be fair during that period of time. Obviously, everyone knows I've got very strong political opinions about where things in this party should go. But I think that the biggest problem this party has had for an extremely long period of time is that nobody is willing to negotiate. Nobody's willing to actually come to a table and speak with each other and work out their differences. And it is always about trying to win a vote, get that 50% plus one, and get their agenda through hell or high water, no matter what, and they don't actually want to build consent or consensus. I hear people say things like, oh, when we made this a democracy, this became a horrible party. You know, yes, you did, Mr. Terry. And you know what? This isn't a democracy in the sense that the mob has all the power, but the mob should all have the right to say no. That's consent. That is the difference between a subject and a citizen, and it always will be. And that is what I've always strived to put the power in this party, is to give the membership the right to say no if something is objectionable, and to leave in the hands of their representatives as little authority as possible, leaving it to the members and the individuals to do so in their own as they please. That's always been my agenda, that it will continue to be my agenda and what I'll advocate for. But realizing that maybe more than a third of this party doesn't believe that the individual members should actually be regarded that way, we need to still negotiate as to what level of government we're going to consider appropriate. And until people are willing to come to the table, no one will ever get the 2/3. About 6 of them universally hate another one. And amongst the which are are kind of the more moderate factions, they all just wish we could. And you know what? We're not going to be able to do that until we at least agree on one thing: who we are, here for. Going anywhere, willing to sit at a table, discuss their different, resolve them, not use their own turd as a bludgeon. So that's just the way it is. I'm sorry if that might be a little indelicate, but that's what the way things have been for nearly a decade and a half. They were that way before I got here, and we need to set that aside and realize that the person in this party who has the ultimate authority and responsibility is the individual. And I'm sorry that that's not painfully obvious, but we need to get there.
Wes, one more thing. Can you, do you have a plan or a strategy to get around this quorum problem we have?
I don't know that getting around the quorum problem is necessarily the right solution. By getting around it, we don't resolve any of our underlying differences. Any of the problems that currently exist will just continue to fester and constantly grow up. Getting around the quorum problem won't fix it. What will fix it is that we actually all come to the table, negotiate with each other, agree to a plan of action that we can all work on, at which point we'll actually be able to grow our way out of this problem rather than fighting with each other.
If you don't get your way, you're gonna bring this lawsuit again. Yeah, why don't you sue the party again? You know, they don't solve it.
I sued the party because there was being fiduciarily irresponsible, they're not producing valid books, and the treasurer at the time told me that the executive director was using the party debit card to buy groceries for his apartment, and used the operative word again. So if you want to bring these things up, I will be more than willing to relate what actually happened.
For suing the party, in my opinion.
Would you prefer an extra-legal method of resolving disputes? Because I thought we were a society of laws.
Well, right now, we're not in a meeting at all, we're just talking as individuals. So I'm talking as myself.
Do you not believe we are a society of laws? Do you believe that fraud should not be persecuted?
It's a matter of opinion in this regard, is it not?
Well, where do you go when there's a difference in opinion that's irresolvable by the
To the Judicial Committee. We have our own internal procedures.
The Judicial Committee can only interpret bylaws.
We do not believe in initiating force against the party, especially we don't believe
the party is not so high and mighty that it is not subject to the laws of an orderly society.
We have our own laws, which we have contracted amongst ourselves by
we are not a government.
bylaws for resolving our own disputes. Taking the bludgeon of the state and using the bludgeon of the state against the party is the most unlibertarian thing I can think of.
How do you resolve disputes if not the
Judicial Committee?
The Judicial Committee has no power and authority in these matters. Yeah, we should get something to do.
Why don't you go? I gotta go home and take care of some stuff. Good luck.
So again, thank you for your attendance. I think continued discussion is good. And, you know, we can work through those issues, but it's going to take work and cooperation from everyone. Thank you.
When we meet again as a state.
Absolutely. Simply put,